Hi, I'm Doug with TDS Media, and today I wanted to show you a new product I've been working with called Streamstar. It's a company out of Europe that's moving over to the US with this product, and like vMix or TriCaster or Livestream, it's a software-based multi-channel production switcher. Much like vMix is, you could also just buy the software and provide your own I/O card, and you can load it on any computer and use it. But they also have some chassis. We're pretty familiar with these chassis from Live Texas and vMixes. This is the 710 case. They also have a 2RU rack unit, which would be much more like a TriCaster-based unit where you would supply your own monitors. Streamstar, the beauty of that is the ease of use. Unlike a lot of other software out there, I am a TriCaster fanboy, but it can be a little difficult to use at times, especially for somebody just sitting down. But you sit down with this, give it about an hour playing around. All the features and settings are right there. There's not a lot of menus to go through. It's very easy to navigate and to get yourself started without a lot of hassle, which, for somebody who would need to rent this, or for students, colleges, teachers, businesses, this is a great product because you can get up and running in no time. But today, let's go over some of the features. And the first feature I would like to show to you is probably one of Streamstar's best features, is his internal replay system. Now, up on the interface, I do have the replay system loaded. There is also a replay in here. This is one of the events that I've already done. But as you can see over here, you have short, medium, and long. Those you can adjust to back time it to whatever setting you like. So a play happens out on the field. You hit short, back times it. I believe this is set to 4 seconds, and it automatically loads the looks. Since this is a 710, it is a 6 input switcher, so it loaded all 6 looks into it. Now, if you wanted to look at the looks, if you didn't know, was camera 1, 2, or 3, what was the best angle, you can hit the eye icon here, and it'll show you a little preview, just continuously looping, of all of the different looks. And you can take that off. Now, if you want to look at it and you thought 2 was your best angle, you just click it. I already have it set up to do a wipe. Bam, wipes into it. It plays it. You can set the speed, and then as soon as the clip is over, it plays it out. Now, if you wanted to make a list, say if you like looks 2, 5, and 6, you just click 2, 5, and 6. It has now created a list for you. It'll do 2. And then it's going to move straight on over to 5, play 6, and then fly back out. Now you can manually fly it back out if you needed to get back to the action sooner. And you can, adjust different wipes. This isn't the only wipe. You can load your own wipe into it. It is a very powerful, easy system to use. You also have the ability to mark it. You can name it. So if you wanted to save it as a favorite, or say, John's goal, or or a way to mark it for when you want to come back and do highlights, you can do that. Also, under the eye viewer piece, you can star it too. That's another way to highlight that you like that replay. So that is the replay system. It is very powerful. I've never seen a replay system, especially in a software package like this. It beats anything I've ever worked for. And for somebody just starting out, like a school or production company, the TriCaster in the 420 and the 4000s and in their replay system is beautiful, or even using an internal DDR as a replay is an option. But to get all of those looks in the function that you can get with this, I have never seen in another system. The replay system is really good. Now let's move on. Now, another feature I will show you here on the interface, if you go over here to the JVC Camera icon, you click on that, and I do have a JVC camera, but I don't have one that works. Some of the newer cameras, like the 200s or the new 600s, like the 660, that have the Ethernet, the Cat 5 or Cat 6 connectors on it, you can plug it in directly into a network switch, and the Streamstar will then see it, and basically you have kind of a CCU control. You can get tally, you can do some adjustments to the cameras right from this interface screen. So again, you're in a school setting, a church setting, or something like that. You might have inexperienced camera operators or something like that that you're working with. You get some JVCs, hook it in, have a poor man's CCU control right out of this box. Nobody else is doing that. You can't get that with anybody else. In a TriCaster, you could go in and you can change some of the settings, but you're not going to get the tally. You're not going to get the advanced controls that you are through the Streamstar. Now we're going to look at the audio side. Go over here, hit the speaker icon, and that takes you over to the audio controls. Now, for the most part, the only audio you are getting as far as inputs on a professional level are embedded SDI or embedded HDMI audio, which some people are not going to like. I don't find to be a real problem, because the workaround is if you had an audio mixer, you then just put the output to your nearest camera and you bring it in that way and mix your audio. I'm not a person who loves to mix audio in my system like a TriCaster, just because I'm usually on a different tab, like you would be on, say, the replay tab for a sports event, and you want to adjust the audio and you have to go over, hit the audio tab and then adjust it. Whereas if you have a separate mixer, you can just adjust it here. It'll go in through the camera, embed, and you're good to go. The other way to bring in an audio line would be through the computer side. Your standard 1/8 inch mini port that way. And so you have all of your inputs for all of the 6 inputs, plus a media input. That would be the internal media player. So if you had a video of sound or a background or graphic with sound, something of that nature would be on there. And so you do have a line out, which comes out on the computer board, and then the main program outs, which would be embedded into the SDI out or the HDMI out. Now, another really great feature about this is the picture-in-picture option. I think this is fantastic. So, if you had a TriCaster, or, I don't even know if a vMix would do this, it's going to be a little more complicated. You're talking about mix effects banks, and again, if you're somebody starting out, or if you're working with schools or churches, they're not going to really know about that. But you want to do in picture, you just go up to here, select kind of the layout you want. That'll bring it up. What do you want A? I'm going to have be camera 1. B, I'm going to have be camera 6. And for C, we'll go over to media. We'll use this background here. And so you've set it up. This shows you up here the preview, what you're going to see. And when you want to go to it, you hit go live, it brings it up, and that's your picture-in-picture. And that'll save that. So you could, cut back to a camera, go to camera 2, and if you want to go back to the picture-in-picture, it remembers what you used, you hit go live, and it goes back to the picture-in-picture. When have you ever seen something that simple to do a picture-in-picture? Nowhere. And that is a great feature. Now, moving on to some of the other just, normal, features. So as you see in the mixing mode, it's set at direct cut. They do have a keyboard that you have with it. It's laid out to show you, so you have buttons up here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And when I hit it, it changes the input. Now that's on direct cut, so that's a direct cut. So if you want to do a crossfade, you just hit crossfade. There's ability to adjust the duration down here. And then now if I hit 2, it's going to do a dissolve. So even though I'm just hitting the keyboard, it's just going to dissolve. You want to do a transition, same thing. Click the transition button. Pick what you want as far as a wipe or crossfade, stitching. Hit the button and it's going to do it for you. So that is a really cool feature. Again, for ease of use, you're not having to go through a mix effects bank or make sure that the switcher is set to cut or whatever. You just set it there and you just use the keyboard. Put your fingers right over top of it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and cut, mix, or transition all day long. Now another feature is graphics. It does have built-in graphics. There is a tab down here, and that'll take you to the graphics side, and you can load it, and it'll load up into layers up here. I'm going to fire this scoreboard, and as you see, it animates on. That's fantastic. But you can also load in your own graphics. So you can go into PowerPoint and make a template and bring that on, or you can build the whole graphic and just bring it in with a transparent background. We did that just this past week for my event, and the graphics look phenomenal. Now, as far as external graphics, there are options out there. Streamstar has a system that's just coming out called Score Plus. It's basically a sports system. I would relate it much to LT scoreboards for live text with TriCaster. It has kind of the same interface, but the interface looks much like this. It's very easy to use. That is sold on a per sport basis. But the really cool, exciting thing is beyond plugging in a computer and having a transparent background type system and keying it, which there's ways to do that with Streamstar, but Streamstar is going to be NDI compliant. So TriCaster's new NDI, new NDI protocols is going to be working with Streamstar. So if you already have live text or one of the new great graphic system out there, you're going to be able to incorporate that into your production workflow with Streamstar. And that's something that's just going to be very powerful. Not to mention, if you already have a TriCaster in your work lineup, you wanted to add the Streamstar because of some of the features, you would be able to share inputs through NDI with that too. So Streamstar is coming on with NDI compliance, and that's something that's going to be very powerful, and I'm very excited to see that as NDI continues to roll out. Now back onto the interface, we're going to go over here to the gear icon. Click on that and it'll take you to a bunch of settings. And we'll go into the general. As you can see, it could do NTSC or PAL, and you have the ability to hook up a secondary monitor. The secondary monitor can do program, it could do all cameras, or you could do a layout of program and cameras. So beyond just looking at this interface, you can also look at a secondary interface, much like TriCaster's multi-view. You do have in the settings your camera input settings. Again, this is all set to demo, but you can go in there. And then you have SDI output settings, ingest settings for like the Score Plus graphics, tally point settings. Also, much like the TriCaster, it can record internally the program. It can ISO record all of the inputs, and it can stream. So you have streaming options, and there's some built-in streaming. So Facebook Live is one of them, and they're adding some more streaming platforms to it, or you could just put in your own streaming settings. So you can stream, right from this. And you have a couple other settings as far as appearance with picture-in-picture, adjusting backgrounds and colors and splits, and the same thing going into CG or media. You have controls of that. But really, the Streamstar is a very powerful system and something that you really need to look at when you're going for your next purchase, or if you're looking to just add. The X4, which I talked about, one that I really like, you add your own monitors, is starting just under $5,000. It's a 4-input SDI, so you can't beat that. Now, if you wanted to look at the cases, the cases are more. One of the cool features about the cases is they're also touchscreen. So you don't even need a keyboard. You can use a touchscreen externally too. So if you buy the X4 and you buy a touchscreen monitor, that would work with this just as well. So it's a very powerful system. I really suggest checking out Streamstar, streamstar.com, and looking into it if you're looking for your next switcher purchase, or if you're just purchasing a switcher for the first time, because really the ease of use of this system, you're going to be very pleased. Thank you for joining me.